Hello, third graders. In this video, we'll be actually doing 2 lessons, and I'll explain why in a moment, but this is for Unit 1, Lesson 17, and Unit 1, Lesson 18. Okay, so go ahead, grab your book. Unit 1, Lesson 17 begins with a check sheet for ones and zeros, and I think we've already talked about how these are used, but in case you forgot, you go through these and you say them to yourself, like out loud, like 1 times 4 equals 4, 1 times 4 equals 4, 5 times 1 equals 5, 5 times 1 equals 5. After you've gone through a whole list, then you go to an adult or sibling or whatever, parent, caretaker who wants to help you with math, and you say, okay, quiz me on my ones. And you hand them the book and you ask them to tell you if you got it right or wrong. And if you got it wrong, ask them to say the correct answer. You say it back to them. So, for example, if you say 1 times 8 is 1, then they say, no, 1 times 8 is 8. And then you say, okay, yeah, 1 times 8 is 8. And then later, when you're like a little bit down on the list, they'll go back to that one and try it again. And that way you have another opportunity to remember the correct answer. And all this different, all these practices are so helpful for building that connection in your brain. So please, please, please don't skip it. Actually practice. And then it continues over here, same thing. There's these 2 games as well. So one is a multiplication game, one is a division game. You'll also need these flashcards from earlier, and when it says exercise side up, that's this side. And then, so basically for the multiplication game, you'll get a partner because you need 2 players, and you'll have your set of cards and this game board here for the multiplication game. Each player looks through the cards and writes down any 9 of the products in the squares of the game grid. So you could have like 49, 24, 81, 10, you know, any 9 products. You can have the same product more than once. Then you shuffle the cards and place them exercise side up on the center of the table. You take turns. On each turn, the player finds the answer to the multiplication on the top of the card, and then turns it over to check. If you get it right, you get to see if that product happened to be on the grid. And if it is, then you put an X through it. So it's sort of like tic-tac-toe, right? But with math. This game over here is the division game. And in this game, you'll need those strategy cards, and you'll be using this board here. So you'll shuffle the cards, place them exercise set up on the table. Both players put their game piece, you know, just have like a coin or something like that on the start thing. Take turns. On each turn, the player finds the answer to the division on the top card and then turns the card over to check the answer. If they're right, they move forward that number of spaces. If the player's answer is wrong, the player moves back a number of spaces equal to the correct answer. Players cannot move back beyond the start square. Player puts their card on the bottom of the stack, and then you win when you get to the end, right? So, and then it continues in Unit 1, Lesson 18 with more practicing. Now, this is something you can do by yourself. So you go down the list, and then you can check your answers with this on 81. So if you don't have anyone who's available to help you, this is a way you can practice. So you answer all these, and then you look on page 81. And you might even want to rip this out. That's probably what I would do. So you can easily rip out this page, and then you can go back to this, and then you can just easily go, okay, 12, 45, good. And you can mark it with a pencil and, you know, give yourself a star if you got it right, circle it if you got it wrong, and then you can quiz yourself on the ones you got wrong and not worry so much about the ones you got right. That way you're going to build your fact knowledge. So this is for 77 and for 78 right here. The divisions and multiplications. those ones here, and then the colors kind of match. And then if you flip this over, this is for 79 and 80. So these ones here, you go through and then you check. You go through and you check. Now, you might be thinking, Mrs. Smith, what's the big deal about practicing? I can just draw a picture. Well, drawing a picture is a good way to build your understanding of how to solve these, but here's a sneak peek towards 4th grade. This is something I did a little while ago with my 4th graders, and you need to quickly recall those facts, and you're not going to want to have to draw out a gigantic picture with like 49 twice and the 49 10 times. Like, it's going to take forever to draw 588 dots. So it's very, very helpful to have your facts memorized, and then you can use the strategies you'll learn in 4th grade to quickly solve those sorts of problems. There are still pictures to be drawn, but even in drawing those pictures, having your facts memorized is like so helpful. Everything will take way less time. I can't say it enough. Practice your math facts, please, 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 every day for like 10 to 15 minutes until you have them down pat. And then even still, keep practicing, keep quizzing yourself, keep checking, because it's not gonna be a waste of your time at all. That I promise you. So make a plan right now. That's the assignment for these pages. How are you going to build your practicing into your daily schedule? Is it going to be a breakfast time? Is it going to be before bed? Is it going to be during your lunchtime with your parents? Or like, what are you going to do? How are you going to practice? Think about it now, write it down, talk to your parents, make sure that it works for them, or find, a big sibling or someone who is willing and able to help you, because it's super a big deal. So with all that being said, now we're going to work on this page 83, and we're going to solve some word problems using 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, and 9s. So, it says write an equation, solve the problem. Now, if we want to, we can have our whiteboards out and we can draw pictures over here. That's always a good idea. Let's see, number 1. Tony counted 36 legs in the lion house at the zoo. How many lions were there? Well, this has a little bit of secret information. You have to think about how many legs a lion has. How many legs do they have? They have 4 legs. There's my little picture of a lion. So if each lion has 4, and you have a total of 36 legs, and you're trying to figure out the number of groups, or the number of lions, the number of groups of legs, I guess, what kind of operation is that? Well, there's 2 ways you could write it. You could do either 4 times what equals 36, or 36 divided by 4 equals L for lion. And we'll do a cursive L there because a regular L will look like a 1. So let's think about our facts. Hopefully you've practiced and you've memorized. 4 times 9 is 36. So L equals 9 lions. One wall of an art gallery has a row of 5 paintings and a row of 9 paintings. How many paintings are on the wall? Ooh, do you see what they're trying to do here? You might notice it doesn't say there's a row of paintings, there's like 5 rows of paintings each with 9 paintings or something like that. It's saying a row of 5, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a row of 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How many paintings? That's just adding, right? Can't trick me, can't trick you. 5 plus 9 equals 14 paintings. Number 3. Josh's muffin pan is an array with 4 rows and 6 columns. I'm going to draw that out right here. 4 rows and then 6 columns, 6 in each row. Okay, how many muffins can Josh make in the pan? Well, that is 6 4 times, right? Or you could have done 4 times 6, and how many is that? You've memorized your facts. You know that that is 24 muffins. It must be like a mini muffin tray because most muffin trays can do 12. To get ready for the school spelling bee, Tanya studied 3 hours each night for an entire week. How many hours did she study? There's a secret number here. Did you find it? Well, each night for a week. How many nights are in a week? 7, right? So if she did 3 hours each night, that's 3 7 times. So 3 times 7. Hopefully you memorize 3 times 7 is 21. 21 hours. Okay. Number 5 and 6. If you haven't already tried to do these ahead of me, I'd like you to try 5 and 6 ahead of me. The trumpet players, or the 14 trumpet players in the marching band that lined up in 2 equal rows. How many trumpet players were in each row? Pause and play when you're ready. 14 divided by 2 equals 7 trumpet players. The Sunnyside Riding Stable has 9 horses. The owners are going to buy new horseshoes for all the horses. How many horseshoes are needed? There's a secret number in there. Pause. Go for it on your own. Hit play when you're ready. Okay, so you got to remember, horses have how many feet and need how many shoes? They each have 4. So that will be 4. How many times? 9 times, which equals, we did that one earlier, 36. Horseshoes. Okie dokie artichoke. Let's flip over to the side over here. Make sense of problems. So kind of the same idea. We're just writing an equation and solving the problem. If you're feeling up to it, I would love for you to go ahead and try these on your own. If you just want me to read them out loud to you, you can pause and play in between, but I really we're coming up to the end of the unit here and you should be building your independence. If you need to stay with me though, you are welcome to stay with me. So if you're feeling up to it, pause and play when you're all done with the page. Okay, Sadie plans to read 2 books every month for 6 months. How many books will she read during that time? 2 times 6 equals 12 books. A farmer's market sells pumpkins for $5 each. On Friday, the market made $35 from the sale of pumpkins. How many pumpkins did the market sell on Friday? Well, 5 times P equals 35. P equals 7 pumpkins. Right? Counting by 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. A keypad on Tim's phone has 21 buttons. There are 3 buttons in each row. How many rows of buttons are on the keypad? So that could be 21 divided by 3 equals B for buttons, or 3 times what equals 21. Think about it. You might know that one. I hope you do. It's 7. So 7 buttons. Or 7 rows, I should say. Well, then maybe that should have been R, but whatever, it's fine. Number 10, Paisley has a quilt that is made of different color squares. The quilt has 6 rows of 4 squares. How many squares are in the quilt? Actually, that's just like what we had over here, right? 4 groups of 6 or 6 groups of 4. 4 times 6 equals 24 squares. Number 11, each student collected 10 leaves for a group science project. If the group collected a total of 80 leaves, how many students are in the group? So that's 80 divided by 10 equals S for students, or 10 times what equals 80? We will say 8 students. That's because 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. It takes 8 groups of 10 to make 80. All right, write and solve a word problem that can be solved using the equation 4 times 1 equals n. Okay, so this will be like one group of 4, right? So I had, and let's think of a noun that starts with N. How about noses? Okay, I had a picture of 4 people. Each person had 1 nose. How many noses are in the picture? What is it? 4, right? You had there's our little picture. Some people have pointier noses, some people have rounder noses, but it's fine. There's 4 noses. Each person had 1 nose. All right, that's it for today. Go ahead and see if you have an assignment somewhere, and I'll catch you next time. Bye, everybody.